So, good afternoon. I just wanted to make a short video, and before I really start my lunch, and I've started some. I'm making some salsa over there. I've got to go out and pick lime. It will be our first lime that I pick of the season, and I'm going to put some lime juice in it. But before I started to do all that, I just want to talk to you. You know, I think most of you that watch me are a little younger than I am, but you're going to get here. And I want to tell you how important it is to take care of your eyes. I have one eye that I either injured or it's a birth defect, but it's funny, it's my leading eye, and it's always had a problem. But you know, so far I don't think I have macular degeneration. And that's good. And that's a worry to lots of older people. My mother had it very bad. Finally, she couldn't read anymore, which broke her heart because she loved to read. And it was one of her last pleasures that she could do when she was older. So how do we protect our eyes? We've got to get enough vitamin A. And vitamin A, we usually think of beta-carotene. We think of carrots and things like that. But you know, there's two parts to the vitamin A, and one now they're calling vitamin A1. And you can only get it from animal source. And I didn't do myself a favor, I'm finding out, by not eating liver like I should have. But, you know, making the liver worse, I finally have found a way to do it. And liver is high. One of the highest things you can do, well, there's fish oils, but it's a little hard just to eat fish oils. But I'm talking about foods. Getting it in our foods proper. And liver is about the highest way we can do it. And actually beef liver is even higher than lamb liver, but both of them are good. And if you have to be careful buying liver anymore, because you just don't want to buy it the conventional meat way, because it's going to be full of ugly things, because all of that's what our liver does, is filter out the ugly things in our body. But so you want to get a really good, and I'm really happy I can get that grass pasture fed liver. So those are some of the things: cheese, butter, eggs, egg yolks, all have that good retinol type of vitamin A in it. And then of course there's the vegetables that we always think of. Well, the sweet potato, and we're having that in our lunch today, is the highest of the vegetables, I believe. Winter squash is next. Carrots is down the line underneath the kale, the collards, and the spinach. So just make sure that you're getting your vitamin A that you need, because you need to protect your eyes. You don't want to wind up with macular degeneration. And nowadays, yes, they have things that they do to correct that and to help it. But I think right now it's getting shots, and I think they put them in the eye. I'm not sure on that, but it sounds sort of gruesome to me. I want to avoid it. That's what I want to do. And so be sure to do that. Now, another thing that I want to just say, I mentioned about chai and about star anise pods and how they were 13 times sweeter than sugar. Anise seeds are also 13 times sweeter than sugar. But we can't use them as a sugar substitute. Also, Star Anise is full of licorice flavor. It's full of clove, cinnamon flavor. And that's what would come out if we used a bunch of it, not the sweetness. We'd have to use a lot to get that to work. And they would have figured that out before now. You don't go to the store, you get a substitute for cane sugar. You don't go to the store and get a Star Anise pod sugar. You get coconut, you get date, you get all sorts of other ones, but not that, because it would just take too much to get it out, even though, yes, it is 13 times sweeter than sugar. And licorice is also a thing that's high in sugar. And by the way, aniseed and star pod anise are two different plants. They're not related, and yet they have the same constituent, the same chemical that makes them that 13 times sweeter that they have in common. So don't do that. Just enjoy the flavor that it does have, and it's a good spice, and I like it that it's a flu fighter, and that it will help us this winter if we have a nice cup of chai tea with it in. And when I make my chai teas, even though I'm doing different things, I'm basically following Lois Wilson's recipe. She has a good recipe. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I've got to get my dinner on. We're having chicken, we're having sweet potatoes, and I think we'll do something with zucchini, and I've got a few okra, onions, potatoes, who knows. Anyway, I've got to get busy and create our lunch. And have a good day, and thank you. Get your vitamin A. Get your vitamin A1 in your meat source also.